Hello everybody and welcome to The Last Word. Newcastle Fans TV. Yep, hello everyone. We'll get on to Steve Bruce very, very shortly, but too much carry on off the pitch, hasn't it? There been the last 72 hours of first. You know, you talk about the under-23s having fights in the city centre, and then you talk about the Craig Hope situation, which he put out, claiming that Dwight Gales had a massive falling out with Graham Jones. Not just only that, Steve Bruce has had a right go at Isaac Hayden because of Ronaldo's second goal at Manchester United. And then the players are a little bit disillusioned by Bruce going away on holiday. It doesn't look very professional. Bruce decided, nah, let's come in the afternoon. The players are parked inside the training ground thinking, what's happening, what time we're starting training ground? They've got no idea. So that's a story that's coming out of Craig Hope in the moment about Steve Bruce's squad, and it's all over the place at the minute. Be interested to see what happens with the press conference afterwards. A lot of commotion on the net. I would have expected that Friday night. Leeds fans clashing with the Toon fans, police horses and what have you, just around the corner. You can probably hear some of them as well, but it's been a shit few days for the Toon, and the results didn't get any better, do they? We'll come on to the match in a minute, but there was talk about, was there going to be a protest? I didn't personally see any, I must have missed that. Were there going to be paper planes and all that kind of stuff as well? You've got more police there now, something else is happening here. It's all kicking off around here. So there was no paper planes. There wasn't many Bruce chants. There was, especially first half, because Newcastle were all over the place. We'll come to that in a minute. There's just too much going on around here at the minute, so apologies about that. Too much going on. There's too much happening here. And you look at it and think, there's Bruce chants, there's Ashley chants. There was fans clashing with each other, telling them don't sing to support the team. Make sure you're singing about Bruce. Make sure you're singing about Ashley. And then you're seeing obviously one or two people try and get on the pitch. It nearly happened. So not very happy. In particular, first half was awful. It was absolutely awful, the first half, and it reflected on the fans. I said to the lads that we need an early goal just to calm it down, lift this place. St James Park would be bouncing, and it wasn't really bouncing to some extent. There was some where I stand. I'm in the east corner. I don't sit all my area stands and things, but apart from that I don't know about the rest of the game. I felt it was just a normal atmosphere despite it being on TV and Friday night and everything, and people had a bit rowdy. I mean, first half there was obviously a lot of negativity, which you would expect, so that was hostile. In particular, first half, probably the worst hostile performance in a long time that I've been to St James Park, at home that is, but I might not know what the rest of the ground's feeling. But it's just a shit show all over off the pitch at the minute. Absolutely shit show at the minute. Steve Bruce has got a gun now. He's got a gun, and that's early in the season. And now we've said that last season, and we'll see that this season earlier. For people who are not Newcastle fans, right? He's yet again left a striker on the bench and doesn't bring him off. And I talked about this and I had a bit of a rant about it last week, well, a few days ago, and he still doesn't do it. So we'll come to that in a minute. But we'll kick off, right? We'll have a look at the lineups. So it was 5 at the back originally. 2 centre-backs left on the bench, and Isaac Hayden, a midfielder, playing at centre-back, which Isaac Hayden, according to Craig Hope, has come out and said, I'm not a centre-back, why am I playing there? So believe what you will about that. And then you're seeing just the one change. It was the goalkeeper. Freddie Woodman was allegedly injured. I'm not having none of that. I think he's been dropped. Look, we know Callum Wilson-Zooton was struggling for goals. The Leeds side, obviously they had a lot of injuries at centre-back. That was their main concern. Would they be able to cope with obviously Luke Ayling coming across centre-back, partnering with Liam Cooper? You know, Raphinha, great talent, had a great debut season, loads of talent in there. Calvin Phillips, we know, England international, and so on. So the game kicks off, and it was our Leeds. It was all Leeds. It was really, really poor, and that turned the atmosphere a little bit inside the ground. Worse and worse and worse. The atmosphere got more and more hostile as the first half went on. Leeds, in all honesty, should have won that game in the first half. The amount of chances, the amount of times that the cup were open was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And it got to the point when they scored very early on when the cross come in, and then it was constant pressure over and over. Don't get me wrong, we had a couple of chances at the end. ASM was a threat, of course. We'll come to his goal in a minute. Joe Linton tested the goalkeeper for a great save, but it was constant that we were getting split left, right and centre. And then Bruce changed it, surprisingly. A positive change. He took Hayden out of the defence, put him in midfield. Aye, better, And funny enough, I thought we looked a lot better with 4 at the back. However, in that first half, Matt Ritchie was ripped apart left, right and centre. For me, defensively, I've said this for a couple of weeks now, I want to see Jamal Lewis come in because I think he's defensively better. I also think Manquillo is defensively better than Murphy. So if Murphy started tonight, we could have been, you know, in behind a lot more Leeds. But Ritchie needs to come out the side for me. Yes, going forward, he creates a lot, but we're conceding too many goals. For me, he has to come out the side, and it has to be Jamal Lewis. And just before the half time, it was a great time to score. Absolutely wonderful time to score. I don't think we deserved to score, but you know what Allan Saint-Maximin is like. He's a threat, and he's scoring goals. He's getting assists, and that was the worry this season, that you had to get double figures. So if you want to get a big move, that's my critic of him, and he's the star player so far this season. You're thinking to yourself, pass the ball, pass it. When he hits a bottom corner, goes at the back of the net. It's a fantastic time for Newcastle to equalise. Great time going into half time. There was still a few boos when the lads walked in. It had to be better second half despite us equalising. Like I say, Leeds should have been 2, 3, 4 up. But going into the second half, it was better. The system looked a lot better with 4 at the back, as I say. A few chances for Newcastle on the counter. ASM up top, creating a lot of chances. Joe Litton showed some nice touches, but he's too indecisive in that final third. And speaking of indecisive as well, there's too many times at the back, in particular first half. I know I'm going back the first half, but there's too many times where the players are wondering, oh, you go for it, no, you go for it, no, you go for it, and that costs you goals. Jamal Lascelles, Isaac Hayden at the back, not good enough first half, not good enough. However, second half was much better. We created a few chances, as I say, but we couldn't go on to nick it. Leeds, obviously Bielsa was making a lot of changes, but the changes, phrase that on for Miggy, I didn't know what that was about. I would have played them, both of them, but I still don't get why he's not playing Dwight Gill. I still didn't get it. Steve Bruce has still not got a win so far this season and refuses to put on a striker. You've got a recognised striker on the bench yet again, and there's a chance to try and go and win it, and he's still not bringing on the striker. He brings Joe Litton off the final substitution and puts Murphy on the left wing. Obviously, we did look better with 4 at the back. We did look better going forward. Changing it was like a 4-3-3. But you got a striker there, man. Use him. Use him. There's definitely been some sort of foul, and that could be some element of truth with Craig Hope's story. But Steve Bruce, take it away. So we'll see if there's any stories that ramble on after that then, because that was the calm version. Obviously, the written press go after the media. So it'll be TV coverage, then the media, then the written press. But look, it's simply not good enough at the minute. Steve Bruce has got a gun, and that's early on the season, but the way we're playing, there's loads of chance for Bruce out. That'll get worse and worse and worse. He won't walk, as I say, so that leaves it to Lee Charlie, Mike Ashley to sack him. Yes, it'll cost the club, but do you want to cost it your Premier League status? For me, I would sack him. Pay whatever his contract is. He'll be a rich man. Let him go. Give Graham Jones for a couple of weeks until you find somebody. We've got 2 tough away fixtures coming up now, Watford and Wolves. It's disappointing we need Callum Wilson back as well. We're missing him, and our ASM's a threat up top. But Christ almighty, man, we are struggling at the minute, man, and it's frustrating as a Toon fan because you cannot see where this win's going to come from unless it's a fluke. Disappointed in it. Really disappointed. There's too many stuff happening off the pitch for my liking, and there's not enough on the pitch. See you later, everyone.